Good day, everybody. Good day, good day, good day to you. Good day to each and every one of you. Welcome to a spiritual remedy. My name is Sunshine Day. I am a spiritual living coach, and it is my joy to greet you today on a spiritual remedy where I get an opportunity to share my life with you. Good morning, Nancy. To share my experience with you, to share strategies that you might be able to use to improve your life, to benefit your life, to serve your life. I see a world where people in recovery are living their best life and loving it. And when I say people in recovery, I want you to know that I'm not just talking about 12 steppers. I'm not only talking about people who might be in any of the anonymous programs, but I am speaking to you if, in fact, you have been bamboozled, if you have been hoodwinked, if you have, been taken hostage by these weapons of mass distraction. And when I say weapons of mass distractions, hi, Wenda. Good to have you with me here this morning. When I mean weapons of mass distractions, I mean those things, whether it be drugs or alcohol or sex or gambling or stress or anxiety or fear or doubt or depression, that move you away from you living your best life. Now, what I can share with you is that those weapons of mass distraction, what's up, Wenda? That those weapons of mass distraction are simply, what people joke around when they go squirrel, and you were doing something and in something, and then all of a sudden, hi, Jesse. Look at Jesse saying hi to Nancy. Nancy saying hi to Jesse. I love the community that we're building here. I'm so excited that we're all here. So here's the deal is that today I want to talk about negative thinking. Negative thinking. So here are some examples of negative thinking. Negative thinking, oh, it's too cold to go for a walk, or it's too hot to go for a walk. When you have, in fact, decided that you want to get healthy and that you want to go about being your healthy self. Hi, Iris. Buenos dias, amorcito. When you have decided, hey, I want to get healthy, I'm going to go for, oh, it's too hot. Oh, it's too cold. Oh, I'm too tired. Or I don't have enough willpower. Or I haven't written down everything I eat. I don't want to do that. Or, it was my choice, and those, or I don't want to go out because they're going to be doing this or that or the other thing. And I just don't want to. Negative thinking is also the doom and gloom thinking. Go ahead and give me some examples of your negative thinking, of those negative thoughts. What are some of those things for you when you are in that hamster wheel of negative thinking? Um, I'll never get sober. I'll never get clean. I'll never lose weight. I'll never finish reading that book. There are so many things that actually support negative thinking. And you want to be able to actually be the one in charge of your thinking. Interesting. Is that a possibility? Can you actually be in charge of your thinking? ¿Puedes hacer cargo de lo que piensa? Huh. Do I have enough? Thank you, Cinzia. Do I have enough or I don't have enough? And when I talk about that the world supports us in the negative thinking, It's really around some of that. Like, do I have enough to eat? Do I have enough money? I don't feel like doing that. Yeah, I don't feel like doing this or that or the other thing, right? The negative thinking that society supports a lot of that. They support a lot of that by going, oh yeah, well, if you don't feel like doing it, then don't. Um, and you always have that choice. However, it's important to recognize that we have dominion over our lives. We have dominion over our lives. And the function of your brain is a processing, is processing. And can train your brain, you can train your brain to actually think thoughts in a direction that you want to think. Now here's, Esther Hicks, through Abraham Hicks, speaks a lot about the rampage. I like to call it an avalanche. I like to call it an avalanche of thoughts. A rampage seems a little bit violent for me, but that's just me. Call it a rampage. I like to call it an avalanche. And when you are engaged, when you recognize that you're having those thoughts like, I don't have enough, I can't do this, I don't have the willpower. Hey, sunny day. I all the negative thoughts in that moment when you make a decision. So first of all, you need to decide. You need to decide that in that moment, I'm going to change my thoughts. And even before that, let me back up. The moment you recognize you're having a negative thought, this is a negative thought, or, oh, I'm feeling the lack, the limitation, the fear, the doubt, the anxiety. I am being sucked into my weapons of mass distraction, whether it's drinking or shopping or overspending. What are you saying, Wenda? Wenda says, discipline is a radical act of self-love. Isn't that right? Oh, and I love Gabby Bernstein. I love it. Discipline is a radical act of self-love. So, in other words, when you become a disciple, that's what discipline means, a disciple of that which is for the highest and best for you. You take this moment right now to go, oh, look at me. I'm having this negative thought. I'm thinking about drinking or drugging or using or getting caught up in the mob mentality, the fear, the doubt. So in that moment, you make a decision. A decision means you cut off everything else and you pick one thing. So if it's a thought, let's see, some of you said, I don't have enough. I don't have enough. So in that moment, when you're recognizing that you're telling yourself you don't have enough and you're being negative and you're having those negative thoughts, wait a minute. Here's what it looks like. Wait a minute. I don't want to think that way. I actually want to think in the opposite way. I have enough. So in that moment, you make a decision that you do no longer want to go down that road of negativity and negative thought. And what you do is you make a decision to do something else. Now, for some folks, it's a huge jump to be like, I have enough, because right away, bull crap. That's not the truth. You're lying, right? So in that moment, what you can do to begin to turn things around is like, oh man, I don't have enough. Look at my bank account, or I don't have enough friends. I don't have anybody to call. In that moment, I decide that I am done with that negative thought. That is not what I want to think, because that thinking produces these feelings. I don't want to feel that way. And yes, Wenda says, I am open to a belief that I am enough. And that's exactly what you do. You say to yourself, I'm open to a belief that I am enough. I'm willing to believe that I am enough. You know what? I remember a lover, a partner, a friend told me that I was enough. You know what? I want to be enough. I feel like, I'm enough when it comes to my children. I'm enough when it comes to my partner. I'm enough when it comes to my friends. And that you begin to then start this avalanche, right? Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks calls it a rampage, but I call it an avalanche. Move a muscle, change a thought. What we are doing is exercising a mental muscle. Thank you, Edie's. Iris, thank you for that. What we are doing is we are exercising our mental muscle. Some of those mental muscles haven't moved in a long time. It's time to stretch out that mental muscle by making that decision and then just taking little itty bitty steps towards the direction that you want to go in. Now, these don't have to be huge steps. Now, if you can imagine this for a moment, thank you, Sunny. I have a habit of winning. Yes, when you tell yourself and you repeat to yourself and you begin to guide your habitual thinking. See, the negative thinking is just a habit. It's just a habit that you haven't taken care of. So you can now begin to create a habit of thought for yourself that actually serves you. We have been stuck in beliefs and behaviors that no longer serve. And when we do that, we go down that path of negative thinking. And now small hinge moves, big doors. Yes, it's those small moves. It's those small moves that just kind of help you move. I like to do it this way. If there's a ship in the ocean and it's about to hit, a land, or it's about to hit an iceberg or something, and it's far off and, and it's headed this way, and right in front of it, that ship cannot turn on a dime. That ship is not going to make a right about face and miss the deal. And it doesn't have to. When you find yourself on target towards something you don't want, all you got to do is make a little shift, and now you're going in a different direction. And that's what we all mean here by saying, like, these small hinges move great doors. Those hinges are just super small. That little step right there, that little shift moves you in a whole total direction that can be for your good. So you don't have to be like, I'm enough. Because if your mind is going to constantly go, no, that's not the truth, you're not enough. Remember the time when such and such, right? So what we do instead is we begin an avalanche. And when you think about a small ball of snow that begins to roll and it gets bigger and bigger. The other word that I like using for it is a cascade. And I think about the cascade of a waterfall, that we begin this cascade, that we just begin to shower ourselves with something different. Like, I'm willing to be enough. I want to be enough. I want to feel like I'm enough. What does enough look like for me? Enough looks like me doing this or me experiencing that. Enough means that my income is exceeding my expenses. If that's the truth, then where am I overspending? Where am I not being a good steward of my funds? Where am I just buying stuff on Amazon? Where am I just doing things, because where am I just buying expensive coffees, when in fact, then I can't pay my bills, or I'm constantly complaining that I don't have enough. When I don't have enough time, where is it that, I find myself scrolling and being so attached to this, when in fact I can be in my spiritual practice? when I can be inviting spirit that is within me to reveal to me in a language that I understand what is for my highest and best. It's important for each of us to recognize that the negative thoughts are ours. Those are mine, and I get to own them. And the only way that I get to move beyond them is to own them, and to own them in such a way where I can make decisions about how I want to train my brain. And so when that negative thought comes up, it's a yellow flag or a red flag. It's that, oh, here I go again. No. And I begin to do something different. Last week, I shared my phone number with you because I was speaking about an attitude of gratitude and how the attitude of appreciation, and here's the phone number now, how that attitude of appreciation and that gratitude list would actually help, and it actually does help with our negative thinking. So here it is again. Here's the phone number. Take a picture of it. Send me your gratitude list. Send me a list of what you appreciate. And what people can tell you is that when they have sent it to me, I have sent them back my daily gratitude list. And we're about to do this for 30, 60, 90 days to actually watch and measure. And I dare you, I double dare you to begin to actually watch how your negative thinking actually begins to shift and change by just engaging in this simple practice of a gratitude list. Now, you can write it out, you can type it in your cell phone, you can send it to anybody you want to. What I will share with you is that if you send it to me at this phone number, 562-928-6460, if you send it to me, I will send you back my gratitude list. Just tell me who you are. Just tell me your name when you send me that text message, and let's do it every day. Just do it every day. It could be 2 things on it. Just send it to me and watch how your negative thinking begins to shift and change when you are proactive and begin exercising your mental muscle towards that which you want to experience. Towards that which you want to experience. Now, the magic in all of this, if you believe in magic, is that it is through repetition. You're welcome, Wenda. I can't wait to get your gratitude list. I know what a blessing your life is, and it would be great to support one another in this process. And that goes for each and every one of you. There's some of you already on this list who send me a gratitude list, and you get mine. So you can say amen to that. Hey, Angie, glad you're with us today. So here's the deal, beloveds. The deal is, if you want to experience a shift in your mental capacity, in other words, if you're thinking more negatively than positively, and here's one of the ways that you can check that out, and that is at random times of the day, stop and say, what was I just thinking about? And write it down. Or was it negative or positive? And just kind of keep a plus or minus. Was it for my good or was it not for my good? Just looking at it that way. So you can gauge whether you are having more negative thoughts or more positive thoughts, more healthy thoughts. The other thing is, check out what you're taking in. So in other words, are you watching the news? Because I'm sorry, the last time I checked, the news was not like a good news station. It was, and it is always about current events and affairs that are happening, but all of them seem to put people in a place of fear and doubt. What are you thinking about? What are you entertaining and taking in and absorbing? Hi, Kim. Hi, Stephanie. So glad you stopped through. What are you absorbing? And it's interesting because to the degree in which you put away the news and the social media that is negative, that is about hate and destruction, and the world is going to hell in a handbasket, to the degree in which you put that away and begin to actually fill up your days and times talking with people. What is the good that is happening in your life? Tell me about a happy experience. When you begin to ask those kinds of questions of the people around you, what is good that is happening for you? Not just always like, hey, what's happening? What's up with you? But indeed being able, I love you, Leslie Dockery. Mwah. You know, um, when we're asking each other, tell me something great that happened for you today. What happens is so many times we're so used to giving each other the doom and gloom report of what's not working. What's working well for you, a therapist would ask. What's working well for you? What's working well in your life? And begin to talk about the things that are working well for you. That is what begins to combat the negative thinking, because here's the idea as well. To the degree in which you surround yourself with what is working well, what you're going to get more of is the things that work well. I love telling this story because it is so true. There's a person who's driving in the desert, and in the desert they don't have the wooden telephone poles. They have those cement telephone poles, and they're pretty big and thick because they have to hold up wiring. And those cement telephone poles and electrical poles, they are 30 feet apart. So right here there's one, 30 feet away there's another one, and every 30 feet along the highway off to the side you can see those poles. And I wish they were palm trees instead, but right now this person is driving, and they fall asleep. And as they fall asleep, they veer off the road, and when they feel the bump 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 bump, they open their eyes and they notice that they're going towards that big old cement pole, right? And what they say is, don't hit the pole, don't hit the pole, don't hit the pole, don't hit the pole. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to hit the pole. Why? Because they're focused on the pole. And even though they're saying don't hit the pole, the focus is still on the pole. They're still fixated on the pole. When instead it's like, drive through the 30 feet, drive through the space, drive through the space, and bring their focus and attention where they want to drive. So they want to drive in the space, the 30 feet of space between those two cement pillars that if they hit will surely be disastrous. So it's the same for you. It's the same for me. If you are not happy with the way your thoughts are going, what is the remedy? What is the spiritual remedy for that negative thinking? And so I'll go over it one more time, and then we're going to take some time in the silence. First is we recognize that we're entertaining beliefs and we're engaging in behaviors that no longer serve us. 2, we make a decision to turn our attention to what it is we want to experience. 3, you're welcome, Chinsia. 3, we begin to engage and speak, even if it's out loud and even if you're by yourself. You begin to speak the words of what it is you want to experience, even if it's from that place of, I'm willing to be happy. I now make $100 a day. I now make $200. I now attract my perfect partner. I now live my glorious life. You begin, I'm willing to see people in joyous ways. I am willing to eat great foods that actually nourish me. I am willing to be sober today. I am willing to put down these weapons of mass distraction. I am willing. You can even start right there. I'm willing to feel like going for a walk. I see myself walking, I see myself healthy, and begin that cascade of thoughts, that one thought after the other thought, and continue to say it so that it begins to be a cascade, or that one thought begins to be an avalanche of yummy goodness for you. Stephanie says, I'm willing not to be depressed today. It's a beautiful day. So, Stephanie, if I may coach you right there, I'm willing to see today as a beautiful day. So we don't want to focus on the depression, right? I'm willing to see today as beautiful. And so that's where we want to focus, not the pole. The depression is the pole. The space between the poles is the beauty. I'm willing to see the beauty. Ah, you like that, huh? Yes, I'm willing to see the beauty. I'm willing to see the joy. I'm willing to experience the joy. I'm willing to feel the joy. I'm willing to feel happy. I'm willing. Oh, look at that. I'm getting chills. I feel happy. Like it's possible. This is all possible for me. There's so many things that bring me joy today. Oh, let me send Sunshine my gratitude list. Let me go ahead and get my cell phone and type my gratitude list and be in this energy of gratitude. Oh, what's that number again? 562-928-6460. Let me move into that place of gratitude. My legs are working, my feet are working, my knees are working, my heart is working. I'm breathing today. Yes, and we begin that cascade. We begin that cascade. We begin that avalanche of beginning to train our brain towards what it is we want to experience instead of what we don't want to experience. Oh, nice big belly breath, right? Cascaded, girl. Yeah, we begin to just have that. And we begin to just bask in that spaciousness that comes after a good cascade. So I invite you for this moment to just close your eyes for 1 minute. Think about what it is that you're grateful for, the things that you appreciate, whether it's technology, whether it's a pet in your home, whether it's a love in your life, whether it's simply that we're breathing in and out. And we remember that whenever we're having these negative thoughts that mean us no good, we simply know that it's a red flag. We recognize that we're stuck in behaviors and beliefs that don't serve us. We turn our attention, we make a decision to turn our attention to what it is that we want. And we make affirmative statements and move into a place of gratitude, even eventually that we start that cascade. So see yourself doing that today. And gently open your eyes. Wow. Sunny Day says that she's experienced the personal triumph of remaining focused on a main focus. The affirmation action is I begin within with a loving experience of meditation. I'm so grateful that I'm breathing. Consistency is key. Thank you for sharing that, Sunny. If it happens for one of us, it happens for all of us. And that's why I do this show, Spiritual Remedy. I so appreciate your interaction today and your support today. And I so appreciate this time that we get to be together. Thank you for the love. I see the hearts coming up. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you need to send me another text around something or coaching or just a way that I can support you, lovingly support you on this road that you are on, please use that same phone number to text me. Until next week, know that you're loved. Send me those gratitude lists. I look forward to seeing you here next week. Bye for now.